Oh, hello gamers. It's a new year, but the same old Arlo might be back. Nintendo needs to do better in 2026 by Arlo. Now, if you ask me, I can't really think of that much Nintendo really needs to do too differently. Switch 2's been out, 6 months in, got a couple of good games out. If you're asking me what do they need to do better, like maybe like talk about one of their usual big hitters next year. So like talk about Smash or 3D Mario. Give us like a timeline on that. Oh, what's it? GameCube. More GameCube NSO. Okay, we need more GameCube NSO. They definitely need to up the GameCube NSO rate, raise the price. I would say like definitely no more $80 games. Okay, so there's a couple of things they could do, but like half an hour's worth of talking points. I mean, him criticizing Nintendo is already quite crazy. What does he have to say? I can't believe this. They might low-key bring back the $80 thing for Smash, or at least that seems to be the most likely thing they could do it for if Smash is happening. I hope they don't. I really hope they don't. I hope they just stop doing $80 games. I hope it was really just like a one-time thing for the bundle, and that was it. I really hope so. Either way, what does Arlo think? We need a game to unite the... Shut up, chat. What does Arlo think? Arlo, take it away.
So Nintendo had a pretty eventful year, I would say. Switch 2 generation off to an interesting start. We spent so long speculating, so long...
Interesting start? I don't know, for me, I love the Switch 2, I'm gonna be honest. I would say they've been on a good start. Prime, Pokemon, Mario Kart, Bonanza. I would say they hit the ground running as far as I'm concerned.
Sifting through
But
rumor after rumor.
interesting, I think, is fair.
The first few months of the year, it all reached this crazy point.
Kirby Air Riders.
So it was surreal when Nintendo finally just did it. They revealed the Switch 2, and there it was. And it was all smooth sailing. We were finally getting our new Nintendo console. Everything was good. Until that April Nintendo
and then everything changed when the Grifter Nation attacked, huh? Everything changed when Nintendine attacked, huh? I can't believe Nintendine ruined everything. Hey Arlo, they ruined everything, huh?
But then there was...
So she's been on a great run so far, and what we know 2026 seems to be continuing. Yeah, that's how I feel anyway, but okay.
Everything else that came after. Since then, the entire vibe surrounding Nintendo has changed. The whole discussion. If you're on the internet at least, it's basically impossible to just enjoy your new system and talk about the games without things devolving into a big Nintendo shaming contest.
No. I'm just gonna stop you right there, Chief, and say no. It's now again, I have to be quite cognizant of the fact. Also, thank you, Straw Monty, for the 12 months. But I have to be I have to say, gamers, I have to be quite cognizant of the fact that Arlo's platform apes mine. Therefore, I don't know if this problem scales much worse when he's bigger. If you're asking me, though, as a channel of the size I am, multiple channels, no. It's been comically easy to just play. The last, was it like, I think 6 months of like live streaming, relatively speaking. I've barely done any reactions. I've just been gaming. And I've had so much fun. Kirby, Metroid, Pokemon. I've had so much fun these last 6 months. Like 6 weeks. Are you joking me? I've just been loving life, playing games, man. And I genuinely don't know what to say. This is the part where I'd love to say I agree. Like the only time where like I felt like the discourse maybe like got me a little bit was like the first video I uploaded on Palkia, which was about like the reaction to Mega Dragonite. I definitely got like a fair bit of Pokemon is slop now, but like after the initial wave of that and I banned them all, that was kind of it. Everyone else was there for a bit more of a earnest discussion. That's the only time where like I felt like the discourse kind of got me a little bit. But I just banned them all and like called it a day. That was it. Playing lawyer again. That's what we're up to. Again, I don't know if it's different from you. Again, I'm keeping my mind open to the fact that it might be different. But yeah, it's been so much fun these last 6 weeks. It really has. Just gaming. And I can't wait to do more gaming next week because we've got, Air Riders. We're going to play some more Air Riders next week. Play some more Sonic next week as well. So yeah, pretty much. I'm just loving life, man.
I'm not here to argue any one position. How much of this is totally justified.
Fence sitter!
Might be slightly overblown. That's not the point. Because wherever you land on the spectrum, there is no denying that right now, Nintendo has a big PR problem.
Yeah, I'd say so.
In the eyes of many, they have become the bad guys. And I do think that at least to a point, this internet discourse tends to stay on the internet. It's easy to look at what people are saying online.
Fairs for acknowledging it. I would agree.
Thoughts and feelings of the masses. But for the most part, that doesn't necessarily tend to be true. The visible public opinion does not always impact sales. Your average person who doesn't really engage with this whole terminally online video game discourse thing like we do
just play
is
games.
The person who contributes the most significant amount of overall sales. For example, despite all of the Nintendo-related discontent surrounding launch, the Switch 2 still managed to have, by most accounts, the single most successful
like, what, 10 million, right?
ever. 10 million.
10 million, baby.
In the span of a few months.
Of course, that ended up lining your pockets quite well, Arlo, obviously, as a lawyer, I imagine.
Clearly, there are indeed still a whole...
Oh, you're doing it for free? My bad, I'm sorry, Arlo.
lot of people who wanted or still want a Switch 2. Many millions of them, in fact. However,
I think many people forget the casual audience exists. Yeah, basically. a lot of people forget the casual audience exists in this space. It's actually genuinely insane.
if things get too nasty, yeah, that can potentially have an impact on things. And it must be noted, right now, it seems like Nintendo is having a much, much weaker holiday than many of us expected.
Sorry, I just want to go back to what you said earlier. Hang on.
Millions of them, in fact. However, if things get too nasty, yeah, that can potentially have an impact on things.
Like, I think the word potentially is doing a lot of carrying because, I would say my brother is like the best litmus test into a casual gamer. All he does is play like Rocket League and the occasional dueling book. And then when I tell him about the Switch 2 discourse, he knows nothing about it. I suppose in the sense that obviously, like, word of mouth is a very good sales tactic. So, like, if the word of mouth is quite poor, then I guess it could affect it. But again, this sort of discussion is like a niche within a niche where I can't really see. What I'm saying is I can't see the regular person or someone of the like interested in Switch 2 going, oh, I heard I was gonna buy it, but then like my friend told me about like the discourse, and like I just don't see that happening too much. You know, right now what I do see happening is, hey, is the new Smash out? No, okay, then I'm not buying a Switch 2 yet. That has happened. Multiple people have said that to me. Because they want the big game, you know, like a Mario Kart or a Smash or a 3D Mario. I've heard that multiple times, but I've never heard because of the discourse. I don't see that happening, but I suppose the word potential was doing a bit of heavy lifting there, right?
And it didn't come in that far ahead of the Next Playground, a system that up until a couple weeks ago, practically none of us even knew existed.
All right, who's hopping on the Next Playground, though? Is anyone hopping on that later tonight? I was going to hop on there and play a bit of, like, Coco Melon Battle Royale.
It's possible that the success of the original Switch primed Switch 2 for a great launch. You had all these enthusiasts who were going to get the thing no matter what, but then beyond that, other people might take a lot more convincing. They might want to wait for a better sale or a price drop or just until there are more games to play. And of course, much of this will be thanks to the economic pressure being put on everybody right now. But
Yeah.
I also
Because of the tariffs, Arlo, because of the tariffs.
cannot deny that people being mad at Nintendo could potentially have some impact as well. If the
I don't know.
discourse gets too negative, if it escapes the lab, it can kind of sour the experience. The Switch.
I don't know. I genuinely, I just cannot imagine the average casual gamer going, like, even being slightly caring about any of this, man. I'm going to be honest. Like, because at the end of the day, what matters when it comes to a games console is games.
Well, in large part because it became one of those lightning in a bottle cultural events. Hype drives sales.
I mean, was it because of that, or was it just because it was like the perfect console? I mean, again, I guess technically, I feel like I don't think I'm being a bit pedantic with this, am I? I feel like the reason the Switch sold so well is because like it's like the perfect console in that it's portable, so anybody who likes portable stuff has a Switch. It's dockable, so anyone who wants a home console gets a Switch. You had so many ports there of like old Wii U stuff that no one bought on the Wii U, which is perfect for the Switch, and then you had like original Switch games that were just amazing, right? Like, I think that's the reason the Switch sold so well. Again, I guess the hype of it, I suppose, I had a thing. But I think the console itself was literally just the perfect console. And also the economic times are a bit better as well, obviously. But, like, it was just the perfect console. I don't think it had much to do with the hype or anything. It's just, you could play Breath of the Wild on this thing and, like, a bunch of other cool stuff from the Wii U that people missed, you know? Did a good bit of carrying. Yeah, I think it definitely did its good share of its carrying, but, like, yeah, I don't know, man.
And if there isn't
I can't say
really a
necessarily
whole lot of hype
agree
for your product, if even the simple act of talking about it on the internet is a morbid affair, then yeah, that could affect things. Nintendo can't.
I can see the casuals being turned off due to the anti-Switch misinfo. Granted, that might be the other online folk though. I think what would be interesting is seeing how the Switch 2 performs when all of the big hitters are out. You know, we've got Mario Kart, new Pokemon, Smash, 3D Mario. when all of those are out on the Switch too, and if it's still performing poorly, then obviously then it's like, okay, well, like, what's happening here? Normally those are like the big dogs that get the sales going. So if it's not, then like, what's happening? Are the people just not interested? Like, then we can think about, like, then we can speculate as to what's happening. I say speculate as if I care. I just want games, to be honest. But then like, I think the speculation makes a bit more sense, you know? Plus, I suppose you guys can throw in your little scribblies in there as well. Oh, it's Zelda as well. That's the other one. The big five. It was Zelda, Mario, Smash, Mario Kart, Pokemon. That's the big five that will sell. That will get people to buy a console. Those are the big five. So once those five are out of the console, also those are five are out on the console, and the sales are still performing poorly, then obviously we know something's gone wrong there.
Magically end the trade war. They can't stop inflation. They can't bolster the weakening yen. And no, despite what we all want, they probably can't stop being a publicly traded corporation under constant pressure from shareholders to only ever make more and more and more money without ever slipping.
Okay, Arlo, okay, whoa. You get a bit too woke there, Arlo. Whoa, Arlo, whoa. Whoa, Arlo, critiquing Nintendo a bit too much there, brother. Whoa, calm down.
Nintendo is just like one of us, in that the only thing they can really control is their own actions. And if they want to guarantee their system's success, they've got to play their cards right. All things considered, 2025 was something of a rocky year for them. And
was it?
Take it from me, a guy on the internet. If they want 2026 to be better, they've got to make it better. And if you want to talk...
Was it rocky, though? I don't know. I guess in terms of PR, sure. But like Nintendo famously just doesn't give a shit about PR. So I'm guessing he means PR. I mean, he has to mean PR, right? But like, if we're meaning in terms of like games, I'm sorry, I think no. So when he says this, I'm assuming he means the PR. I'm gonna assume he means PR until he proves otherwise. So let's keep watching.
Talk about how to make 2026 better. There's a real obvious one to start with.
Again. Oh no. Okay. I said this actually. We both have the same take. Yeah. Leave the $80 games thing in 2025. GameCube NSO bolstered that. Like, come on, at least one game a month. You know, come on, speed that up a little bit. And give us news. Give us news on what's coming. What's coming for the future. I want to know when the next Smash game's coming out. I want to know the 3D Mario. What's happening there? Any other cool games you got going on the horizon? Let me know.
No more $80 games, okay? Like just don't. I really do.
Wii NSO? I've seen a couple of you guys in the chat say this. Are you guys serious? They've barely started the GameCube, guys. You guys aren't serious. Come on now. You guys aren't real.
This whole thing, but being the first company to charge that much was not the right move. It just wasn't, because now they're the trendsetters. If the rest of the industry starts charging that much, then it'll be entirely Nintendo's fault for getting away with it. I have no doubt.
I want to listen again, gamers. Listen again.
Really, we were all happy with Plus. Nintendo wanted to future-proof those sales.
Hang on.
Being the first company to charge that much was not the right move. It just wasn't, because now they're the trendsetters.
I think the phrasing on this is a bit weird, because I'm just like, it's not no more, like, from when I say no more $80 games, the price should never have been 80 in the first place, if that makes sense. Like, it's not that Nintendo was the first to go there. It's that, like, I don't think any, like, games should be $80 at all, if that makes sense. That'd be kind of the way I'd phrase it. So I'm more pissed that they even tried to go that jump another 10 so quickly after we went to 70, as opposed to them being the first to go to 80. But again, maybe I'm being a bit pedantic there. Sony dropped the price back in the PS3 era and it worked. Nintendo could do that, they won't. Listen, maybe if we have another 3DS era, maybe, who knows? I can't tell if he's trying to prevent the rest of the industry going down this path or he's just playing defense again. Yeah, see, I'm glad you pointed out too. The wording's got me a little bit sus, but I am trying to like temper my allegations a bit because like obviously I love making accusations. I love it. Yeah, it was a little bit, but I'll give him a pass. It was no warning. Had a chat with him. No card though. No card offense. No
doubt that $80 will become the new norm in the next couple years, considering how things are going economically and all that. But just don't lead the charge. It's not worth it. It's too much of a sticking point.
Again, I would personally say just you should never have done it in the first place. Again, the phrasing's a little weird, but sure, all right. I think what I'm getting from Arlo's wording is that he kind of didn't want Nintendo to do it first because everyone's talking about specifically them instead of just $80 being bad. Maybe I could see that. Again, it's just if I'm making this point, which I think is a fair point to make, Nintendo should never have gone for $80 because we just went to 70 so soon. If we were going to make the jump to 80, it should not have been now. It just should not, fundamentally should have been now. It doesn't matter what company it is, it should not have been now, especially in this time of economic hardship as well. Like, I just don't think they should have done it. So, that's how I would phrase it. But maybe Arlo thought that $80 games were inevitable, which might explain the phrasing. Well, they're inevitable. I agree in that it was inevitable. Don't get me wrong. But, like, not for at least another generation minimum, right? Like, if the PS6, I say Xbox, but Xbox is done. PS6 and, like, Switch 3, yeah, $80 game would be like, okay, sure. I think that's a bit more acceptable. It'd still be annoying, obviously, because I never want the games to be more expensive, but that'd be a bit better, you know? But, like, $80 now? After we just did 70, like, a couple years back? You know? I'm just like, that would be my sticking point. But again, just to make it clear, let's continue. I'll give him a warning for that. I'll give him a warning, okay?
From all of those $10 you could have made, you're gonna make it up by selling DLC. Paid DLC is obviously going to be an even bigger part of Nintendo's strategy.
Oh yeah, especially since they've started going on a paid DLC thing a bit more. Does that make sense? So, if anything, it makes it worse when you charge $80, because like if you're going the DLC model, which Nintendo seems to be like doing big on DLC, right? You want as many people in the door as possible that you can sell DLC to, right? Because you can't sell DLC when no one has the base game, right? So if you charge $80 for it, less people are going to be able to buy that game because it's a bit outside their price range. So that's less people can sell the DLC to, right? So if anything, them going the DLC route behooves them to do $80 less, you know? In fact, that'd be another point I could make. I don't know if Arlo's going to make that exact point right now, so I'll hear if he does.
Paid DLC is obviously going to be an even bigger part of Nintendo's strategy moving forward. And DLC tends to offer a much bigger return on investment. So just charge the already increased $70 and be happy in the knowledge that plenty of people are going to shell out 20 or 30 more on top of that.
Okay, yeah, fair. I basically made the same point. So, you know, fair, Arlo.
On that note, though...
What? Be smarter about DLC. I would say in terms of pricing, I think they need to be. I'd say there's a fair point to bring up as well. In that I don't think Emerald Rush should have been 20 personally, and I'm going to explain it when I talk about Mega Dimensions when I make that video, which is going to be soon. I finished writing my notes for that, actually to record it. I don't think Mega Dimensions should have been $30 neither, to be honest. Yeah, but Emerald Rush shouldn't have been 20. So, like, I think they're being really weird about the pricing. I think they just need to lower them a bit. Like, if Mega Dimensions was 20 and like Emerald Rush was like 15, maybe even 10, I think that would have been way better. Like, I think it would have just like sold. Like, it would have been less of a sting, you know, for a lot of people, you know.
If you're gonna lean this hard into DLC, you gotta be smarter about it. I've got a whole video on this topic if you missed it.
1.5 Silk songs, you know. Starcross was personally, I thought 20 was fine for that. Personally, I think the two sticking points for me is Mega Dimensions. I don't think 30 was worth it, and I think Emerald Rush. Now, bearing in mind, I like Mega Dimensions and I like Emerald Rush. You're talking to someone who likes both of those DLCs. I don't think they should have been that price, though. I just don't think they should have been that price at all. 10 or 15 for Emerald Rush and 20 for Mega Dimensions. That's what it should have been. I feel like they wanted to charge 20 for Emerald Rush. They should have added another layer of world, maybe Crocodile. They definitely should have just added a bunch. I think they should have made DK Island like its whole big thing. You know, I think they should have made like a whole big island that you can explore. Instead of making DK Island like a, you know, victory lap, so to speak, you know, where you just, oh, you explore the island, it's fun. Hey, it's DK Island, but in like a 3D. Like, they should have made like a proper explorable area, you know, like with a decent big size, you know. That's what they should have done, but unfortunate. Jamboree TV. Oh, Jamboree TV is another bad one as well. Sorry, I forgot about Jamboree TV. Jamboree TV, Mega Dimensions, and Emerald Rush. Yeah, they definitely need to be smart with the DLC. I agree with Arlo on this.
Actually very wary of DLC. It took them quite a while to warm up to the idea, and they really wanted to make sure it didn't feel like they were ripping us off or withholding content from their games.
Ironic,
They wanted their DLC to offer good value. This generation, the narrative has started to shift, and it's largely thanks to how they are handling their announcements. Announcing DLC soon or even before the launch of a game is not new. However, in the past, these announcements have been made well in advance of the launch of the DLCs themselves. But in the September Direct, they shadow dropped DLC for DK Bonanza, which had launched only a few months prior, and announced DLC for Pokemon Legends ZA, which hadn't even launched at all yet, and the DLC ended up releasing within a few months of launch as well.
Yeah, I think it's just a bad look. I think especially with it's so weird. Honestly, I think the discourse around that was so strange to me as somebody who like plays, you know, more than just Nintendo games. Because yeah, I'm kind of used to the idea of DLC being announced for a game before it comes out, which I think, if anything, kind of some people might say it's scummy, but just like, I think if anything, it kind of makes oh, you play the game now and you know they're working on, like, if anything, it gives you like we got like stuff coming for the future, right? I've never felt the idea that, they've announced this DLC in like a year or so. That means they're breaking it up and doing it after. But I suppose it definitely looks that way, doesn't it? I think that's definitely like a PR thing. They definitely shouldn't have just like, I think it's just one of those things, I think it's just one of those things where you just don't do it, really. I just don't really do it. It's not that it was announced before the DLC, but the DLC seems way too close. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry. It's announcing it before the game comes out is also one thing, but also dropping it shortly after the game comes out also makes the implication that, did you chop this out and sell it to us after? Do you know what I mean? Like, it always looks that way, even if it wasn't. Like, literally, Nintendo could, prove to us that they had the DK Bonanza team on one area and the Emerald Rush guys in another room. They're working to say they just happened to finish it early, or because obviously Nintendo's a bit of a weird dev company. Do you know what I mean? They might make things differently or weirdly. You never know. That doesn't happen. Hello, honey. So I just don't really know. But it just looks terrible, doesn't it? It just looks terrible. So I just don't really do it. Oh yeah, Nintendo also tends to do this thing, right, where they finish a game goes gold, which is like the term for it's finished, and they just hold it for a bit. So who's to say DK Bonanza wasn't just finished and they just held it, and then, while that's finished, you can work on DLC, right? They could have done, but again, it just looks terrible. It just looks so bad, doesn't it? It always looks terrible.
Long as a year. If Nintendo
listen, you better fucking not, okay? Poison.
DLC
Stop
for
it.
DK Bonanza, then this is not necessarily a case of them withholding content. This would just be like any old DLC. But even if that's true, your average person doesn't know that. All they see.
Do you know what? Fair point, Arlo. He's basically saying my opinion in his voice, therefore his opinion is correct. And yeah, just to clarify, ZA did happen with ZA as well. Like, ZA was delayed by a year, so the DLC was literally made after it was. We all know that, but it's one of those things.
Than ever for their games, and also releasing DLC, which itself is quite expensive, so quickly that it absolutely feels like Nintendo withheld all of this just so they could sell it back to us later. Now, just a couple months after launch, these games cost $90 or $100 if you want all the content. So Nintendo needs to be smarter about how they develop and announce these things. DLC has always been kind of a tricky thing. Is it extra content just in case you want it? Is it a pseudo sequel? Or is it just another way to bleed money from us? And a lot of it comes down to how it is presented, how it is timed. Don't give us any reason to be wary of this extra content.
Yeah, fair. I agree. Literally, I agree. Yeah, 100%. I've got nothing really to add to this. All this is true.
One new thing into yet another Nintendo bad
Good job, Arlo.
story.
I don't know what he means by this, though. When he says pick your battles, I'm not sure what he means. So I'd like him to convince me. Arlo, this is one time where we're not saying the same thing as each other. Lay on me, Arlo. Can you convince me? Let's go.
Learn how to pick your battles. Prices are going to continue to go up. The powers that be are doing everything they can to make sure that happens. AI is going to dramatically disrupt the entire tech industry in 2026. And, well, the oligarchy ain't gonna stop oligarching.
Oh my god. Arlo's getting woke. The oligarchy? The fucking economy? Arlo, what the fuck? I thought you were Bing Bing Wahoo. What's happening?
Anytime soon.
What's happening?
That's why prices keep going up as all prices go up. No one wants to make less money. Find a way to strike a balance. Find areas where maybe you can ease up at least a bit. If you've absolutely got to raise prices in one area, figure out what can maybe stay the same for the time being.
I think there's a fair point to make. I just don't think anyone at Nintendo is watching, really. So I think this point is going to ring hollow to them. To me as a viewer, you can make these things as expensive as you want. I'm never buying them. I'm never buying them. I don't really care, to be honest. But yeah, I suppose he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Throw us more bones. He's going to talk about sales? If so, yeah, I agree.
We need more bones. And no, I don't mean bones to pick. We got plenty of those. I mean Nintendo needs to throw us as many bones as they reasonably can. If this whole hobby is getting really just exorbitantly expensive, we need to feel like at least some Nintendo products offer a good value. Value for money used to be a lot more important for Nintendo, but the Switch showed them that you can potentially sell everything for a premium, never ease up on any anything at all and still outsell the competition.
Like, honestly, the best thing you could do, in a sense, a little bit, is like vote with your wallet in a way, in the sense that if Nintendo sees that games aren't selling because they're still full price forever, then maybe they'll stop doing that. Maybe they'll do that variable pricing thing that Doug Bowser kept talking about. Like, if the Mario is $70, then I think that's Mario. Mario can get away with being $70. But like, if another game comes out and like it's $70, it's like, does it? Like, if a new, let's say a new 2D Metroid came out and it's $70, like no one's like, that's gonna be a hard sell for a bunch of people. Like 70? Like, come on, broski. A 2D Metroid, a game that's like usually like 5 hours long, $70? Surely you can give that. Surely you can make that like 50, right? Surely you can get that 50, right? Come on now. I think that'd probably be better, right? How do you get this sort of stuff to change without either a Wii U level failure or a major shift in how the corporation in general runs? You don't. Which is why, if you're going to make this point, I think it's fair to make this point. Like, it's not making a bad point, but I think that you want to probably angle it more so at the consumer, because it's the consumer watching this video, not Nintendo, right? So what I would say is, if a game is $70 and it doesn't look like a game you're going to spend like dozens of hours on, or you're not really going to get your value on it, I'd say just don't buy it. Wait for some sort of sale. If you're in the UK, CEX has probably got your back, maybe at some point it has your back. That's what I would say. That's what I would suggest.
Don't wait for another Wii U or 3DS situation. Just save the trouble. Eat the humble pie right now.
They're never gonna do that though. It's a bit of a pipe dream, isn't it? It's a bit of a, again, it's fair to make this point, but like it's such a this console sold 10 million in 6 months, bro. They are not easing up on that gas. Never, ever, ever, ever. So the best thing I can do personally is, I know that I'm not buying Mario Tennis or the Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I'm not buying those. I'm sorry. They seem like they'd be fun. $70 or £65. Now, bearing in mind, Argos and Smiths are beloved institutions. They tend to sell games below RRP, which is our version of MSRP, if you're curious, which is the recommended retail price. So if I do find Argos selling it for £50, the same way I found PLZA for £50, I might pick that up for £50. I could see myself getting a couple streams out of Mario Tennis for £50. Yeah. But if they're selling it for 65, which would be the recommended retail price, no, I'm not buying it. That's the best thing I can do personally as a consumer. Like, I'm literally gonna vote with my wallet. And ideally, the sales reflect that so that they start discounting things. You know what I mean? Ideally, that's what happens. It's a pipe dream, but I would say less of a pipe dream than what Arlo's advocating for, right? That's what I would say.
A good deal can go a long way. A big problem this generation is that people feel like they're being nickeled and dimed at every turn.
Yeah.
All these increased prices, all these expensive games and DLCs and even accessories. It's like we're being attacked. That's why charging $10 for Welcome Tour was seen as this, like, unforgivable sin for some people. It's just.
I mean, it kind of was, Arlo. It was for us, wasn't it, Arlo? It's an unforgivable sin for us, right?
It's like, give us a break, Arlo. Nintendo.
It's for us.
I get it.
And then again, the fact that they like, what's it? If I'm not mistaken, didn't they? Isn't the Switch 2 discounted in Japan? Which proves that they can do it. They just don't want to. That's what it proves to me, anyway. Right? I'm not spreading misinformation with that, right? I think it was, right? If I'm not mistaken, there literally is. That's region logs. So they've proven that they can do it. They just don't want to. So, and if anything, that just makes their whole DLC model like a lot more. Because think about it, right? Ideally, if what you're telling me is you can make it cheaper, you just don't want to. Why don't you, in order to get people in so you can sell them DLC after? I would be a lot more okay with I think Mega Dimensions being $30. I think it's better if the game retailed at like $50. Does that make sense? Instead of 70. So in the same way that, let's say Mario Tennis was to have DLC in the future, right? Let's say they sold it at like $40. I'd buy Mario Tennis for $40. If they're going to sell like DLC packs later down the line, then I can pick and choose which DLC packs I want to buy if they're worth the money, right? Does it make like that? If they want to go down that path to like, they can make the cheapers like they can make the games cheaply initially to like get us in the door and then sell us DLC after if we want a bit more. I think anything that could make for a bit more like friendlier on our wallets, you know? Definitely. The DLC price would feel much better if the games were cheaper, because then you back end the price to the more loyal customer, essentially, right? Because I know I was always going to buy Mega Dimensions. I was always going to buy it, right? So how about for the average person who I want to convince to like get PLZ because it's a really fun game? If it was £50 And then the DLC, then you could front load the DLC a bit more. Maybe make that a bit more expensive if the game is initially cheaper. You know? Yeah, the entry points. Like, that's what they could focus on. So when Arlo says this, I think the point is like, I don't think he's entirely wrong for making this point, but I think his angle of approaching it is not the angle I would take. Ergo, it's wrong. But that's what I would say. Like, maybe instead, like, backload the price instead of front loading it. That's what I would say.
Money on the game. You want to make some money on the game, but how many people eat?
There isn't a discount. The yen is just so horrifically weak that 450 is the equivalent of affordable price. Why didn't they make it an affordable price for us, though? Like, the implication you're making is that 450 is an affordable price for a console? When it kind of isn't, really, if I'm being honest. It isn't really that affordable. Most of the people I've spoken to don't have a Switch 2 because it's too expensive. Because America, they're literally just doing it because they're doing it because they can get away with it. 100%. That's what I'm telling you. Even if you account for the weaker yen, they could 100% make they could 100% have sold the Switch 2 for cheaper, but they just didn't want to. It's a simple case if they knew they could gouge the Western markets for a bit more money. 100%. I don't doubt the in the slightest. What does he mean by this? What does he mean by this? Let's find out. Does he say like? Does he mean as in like? There's probably a lot of games that they could re-release or like remaster that would like be instant sellers. So why don't you in order to get people to feel the goodwill? I feel like I'm not gonna lie. This would work on me. I'll be honest. This would work on me. If tomorrow they were like, oh Melee was on GC and NSO. I'd be like, Nintendo is so back, bro. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, bro. Do you know what I mean? So if that's the point he's making, then I guess we can kind of agree. But then at the same time, I'm like, the Switch 1 was the console of like re-releases, if I'm being honest. Like there was a lot of ports on the Switch 1. I wouldn't say it was carried by ports. I wouldn't say that. But it was definitely like a good backbone, you know? A good backbone of the Switch 1 sales. So for me, one of the big things for me is that I wanted the Switch 2 to lean on more new stuff. Oh my god! Refresh. Okay, we're back. We will continue, okay? Nintendo will never suppress the Musquire Empire. I just want new games. I want new games at the moment, which is, I don't think it'd be a bad strategy. I think it would raise a lot of goodwill if they were to release a bunch of like the old games or like break the glass in case of emergency for a lot of the old games. But I'm kind of in the mood for new stuff. Metro Prime 2 Remastered. Listen, I'm not saying it wouldn't work on me, because it would. Metro Prime 2 Remastered, Melee on NSO, the Game Boy Advance Pokemon games on GBA, it would work. It'd work. I'm telling you, it'd work on me. All I'm saying is, like, I don't want that to be the crux of the Switch 2's lineup. Does that make sense? I don't want that to be. So I think it'd work in the short term if it means that we're going to get, if it's like a stopgap for games in the long run. That would be my point. I'm okay with that for now. It's simply cheaper in Japan because that's where Nintendo manufactures hardware. Listen, I don't think you're convincing me, Metal X Cap, unless you can talk to like a distributor or something. I don't think you're convincing me that they couldn't sell the Switch for cheaper here in the UK and the US. I just not convincing me, brother. I'll be real with you. Unless you've got like some an interesting article for me to read on like distribution costs and what have you, you're just not convincing me, broski. I'm sorry, you're not doing it.
Class. Nintendo's got such a huge catalog of games and series, so many potential fans to cater to. So when times get tough, dig to the bottom of the chest. Compared to developing new games, simple remasters may as well cost pennies. And reviving a beloved classic is always an easy win. Now, of course, this process can be tarnished by high prices. Beautiful remasters of Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 should have been reason to celebrate. But look at that, they're too expensive, and now that's all anyone can talk about.
Interesting you're more upset that that's anyone that could talk about. More so than the average Billy being priced out, eh, Arlo? I'm telling you, it's those weird little moments in Arlo's dialogue that fucks with me. Like, I hope you guys are seeing it. Like, there's been numerous instances, I think we point out, this is the second we've like directly pointed out, but if you watch it, there's just numerous instances where it's just kind of like peppered. Like, his dialogue is just peppered in like Shillinese. Does that make sense? Like, if anything, for me, the fact that it was 70 means that the average person won't be able to buy it, you know? More so than because there's a stink online. I really don't see it, to be honest. Well, of course you don't. You're a lawyer as well. You're a lawyer as well, Mad John. Of course you are. But you know what I mean? It's like a little bit... It sprinkles in there, and I'm just like... All right, Arlo. Again, if I'm making this point, it's... oh boy, it's $70, and people feel like they're being priced out. But instead it's, oh boy, it's $70, and that's all anyone can talk about. You know? I'm just like... I don't know, man.
Earlier, pure goodwill, pure gravy. You know what? Ramp up how many games you port to NSO.
Hey, I said the same thing.
Games.
Yeah.
Inundate us with awesome classics. It can only help. You really want to talk about breaking the glass, though?
Oh my God.
Nintendo has been hiding a heck of a nest egg under the bed for the last 8 years. Like we were just talking about, they've kept the prices of their games consistently high ever since the Switch generation began because they have simply seen no reason to discount any of them. I think there's a good chance they have been saving these discounts for a rainy day. They know that if things start to go south, bringing back Nintendo Selects or something like it could offer a big influx of cash. And
listen, again, Arlo, you're not wrong. Do I think it's going to happen though? No, just no. It's just never happening, man. It's just, and the reason why I say no, it's not a case of like, oh, I'm being a doomer or something. I think the Switch 1 generation just proved that it's never happening. It's just not happening. The entirety of the Switch 1 generation proved that they can just keep games at full price, and that's it. Like, they don't have to do anything anymore. I think they've realized that they've got enough of a loyal base in that they just don't have to. That's the issue now. Like, I feel like in the Switch era, in the 3DS or the Wii era, they had to. Because even though the Wii sold gangbusters compared to the PS3 and Xbox 360, I think they were like in much more I would say they were much more competition with their rivals at that time than they are now. It's a one-horse race. Like, I know obviously the PlayStation still sells gangbusters, but like I feel like now we're in a console war where the PlayStation and the Nintendo guys are like in their own camps now. I feel like back in the day you genuinely had to convince a kid which console are they buying. But now I think like I would say the predominant, I would even go as far as say the majority of gamers now are adults. Adults that can probably afford to buy both of them in some cases, or at least get them both on discount, or like not necessarily like have to. And with all the games being like cross-play and multi-platform, you don't necessarily have to pick one or the other. But with Nintendo, the reason you're picking Nintendo is because of all their cool. You stay in the Nintendo ecosystem. So if you're gonna stay in if you're loyal enough to stay in the Nintendo ecosystem, you'll probably just end up gonna be buying them at full price. You know, like at least that's what they're banking on, and for the most part, it works. You know, for the most part, it works. Yeah, most kids are on their phone on Roblox, on Fortnite. A good chunk of the people buying Switch 2s or like at least keeping up with the brand new releases are I'd say younger adults with a bit more disposable income, so they can afford to, even if they don't want to, they can afford to do it. Lord knows I didn't really buy a lot of full price Switch 1 games because I just too expensive. But like, there's always going to be like, for every person like me that goes, the Mario Galaxy 1 Plus 2 bundle is too expensive, there's gonna be a bunch of people at the door buying it. You know what I mean? There was a bunch of games in the Switch 1 era that were just full price, that I was interested in getting, but it was full price and I didn't. But like, so many more people did, you know? And they just know that at this point. They just know that. So that's what it is. My R4 card keeping me big as hell. My modded 3DS. Yeah, I think Nintendo has cultivated enough of a base where they just don't have to anymore. It'd be fun though. It'd be fun, but they just don't have to. What was it? The monkey's paw curls a finger. Selects is back, but it's digital only. Do you still loyal to physical or curve to digital? Everyone and their mother curves to digital, broski. I'm sorry. Like this isn't 10 years ago now. Okay, this isn't 10 years ago now. Everyone and their mother's doing digital now. Okay. And also, what's it? I think was it Metal Cap? I saw your message earlier. Don't worry. I don't think you're a shill, so don't worry about that. Okay.
And best of all, you accrue some semblance of something like goodwill. You heal that reputation a smidge.
Again, I think you've even said it that Nintendo doesn't need to. So like the question is like, what incentive do they have to do so? And like at the moment, it's nothing. The Switch 2 sold like 10 million at least, even more now. So they just don't need to. That's the sad bit, isn't it? It's sad. I say this, but like it's kind of sad in a way. They just don't have to care. You know, they just don't have to care.
Bring actual value back into the equation. Switch 2 may be expensive, but at least you can pick up all these cheap games, right?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Better on Switch 2.
Yes,
to these performance
I'd love that.
Well, look at that. That's a pretty darn good value proposition.
Absolutely.
At the very, very least, though, just give us better discounts. Even if it's just for holidays or whatever, even if it's just older games, give us some deals, man.
So, again, it's the fact that you want Nintendo to do what historically every other company did. Like, in fact, what the PlayStation is doing. Like, hang on. Let's do a live test right now. Let's see. Again, Arlo is right, just to clarify. So I'm not ragging on him because he's wrong. What I'm saying is that like it's so weird that we're in a gaming space now where like you have to advocate to Nintendo to do something that every company already does. Do you know what I mean? Like fucking like on the PlayStation 5, you could play one of the best games in God of War Ragnarok. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that, gamers? Would you look at that? Amazing, right? And heck, if you wanted to get PlayStation Plus Extra, you get it as part of that subscription. Crazy how that works, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? Come on. How weird is this, man? Like, also, like, I'm glad JD got a PS5 for Christmas, right? Literally, you're gonna be licking your lips until they're fucking soggy. They're gonna fall off from how soggy they are, broski. Because the PlayStation 5, it happens all the time. They just put things on sale, bro. If you find Helldivers 2 on sale, buy that. That's another fantastic PvE game, honestly.
Give us a
I got like 4 games for like 100. Oh my, kill me, broski. It's so good, I'm telling you.
Yeah, we're gonna
More
need
cartridge sizes.
16 and 32 gigabyte card.
Yeah, I think this is just a free win, really. Why do we like Nintendo again? I feel like we're just kind of stuck with Nintendo at this point. You know what I mean? They're like that dad that like gave us an amazing childhood. He was there for us in our teenage years. You know, he's in a midlife crisis right now. But like the worst part about his midlife crisis is that it worked out for him. Like he went on a gambling binge as a midlife crisis, but he won like $1 million in the lottery. Do you know what I mean? So he's not the same dad anymore. He's a bit of a... You've noticed his personality's changed, but he swears he hasn't. And like when you hang out with him, it's cool, right? It's cool. But like, you're just like... You know what I mean? It's just like... You're seeing a dad win the game by a midlife crisis, change in front of you, but like he's still... But you hang out with him and he's still the same, but like you know he's different. It's like... But that's your dad, though, man. That's how Nintendo feels. You know what I mean? Like there's still like you still hang out with your dad, but he's like obviously he's rich and like women are coming in and out of his. It's just weird hanging out with him now. But you still have fun hanging out with him. You know what I mean? You still have fun hanging out. You hang out with your dad and it's great. It's not the same, but it's great. You know, it's great. It's great. It's great. But then occasionally like some shady guy calls him on the phone and you're just like, oh fucks. Oh, what are you investing in now, Dad? It's like, no, you have to understand. Dogecoin is gonna go big, son. It's gonna go big, and you're like. Dad, it's your turn. Put a word down, right? And you're playing Scrabble. It's like, oh, don't worry, no, we'll finish playing Scrabble, don't worry. And like, you have so much fun with him, but fuck. That's what it is. The moment Nintendo stops knowing how to make good games, and in the same way, the moment your now rich, a bit of an arsehole dad stops being fun to hang out with, we're gone. Do you know what I mean? We're gone. That's the same way. The moment Nintendo stops knowing how to make good games, Lord, I'm gone, bro. I'm gone. I'm finished. I got a PS5. I got a PC that I can't upgrade because RAM prices are crazy now, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm gone, bro. I'm finished. I'm gone. You know, I'm finished, bro. But the fact is, DK Bonanza, if you to ask me right now, it's like a top 10 game of all time for me of that I've ever played. Like, you know, I love this game. I love this game so much. It's a modern classic, as far as I'm concerned. And I love but hate saying that at the same time.
And my final piece of advice for Nintendo goes along with a lot of what I've already been saying.
Don't be stupid.
This is a hard one.
I mean, that advice can kind of apply to you, eh? I shouldn't be so mean to Arlo. It's actually a decent video. I would say this video, the angle that he's taken this video for a good chunk of it is one that I personally wouldn't, in that he's addressing it directly more so to Nintendo, more so than like giving us what us, the consumers, should do too. I think that's the extra bit I would have added to this video as well. Like, I think some of the points are angled way too much as if you're addressing it now directly, when you should have, I think, maybe given us a bit more of a bone, you know?
Entirely oblivious to public opinion, entirely unable to anticipate how
Nintendo's Nintendo
may react to anything. I mean, this is kind of a problem with any big company.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword, really. Like, they don't care, which is nice. But they don't care, which is not nice.
The people calling the shots way up at the top of the buildings.
Because I think one thing that people forget, I don't know if Arlo's going to forget. Again, I'm not speaking about Arlo, but I think one thing that generally a lot of people forget is that sometimes, and I mean like a good chunk of the time, it behooves you not to listen. Because sometimes, and yeah, I would go as far as to say, when it comes to like any sort of community or like a fan base or like an audience, I would say like, I'd say it's a coin flip. I would say half the time, the people actually don't know what they want. I'm gonna honest, the people don't actually know what they want. And if you want, like, from my experience as like a streamer, what happens often, this happens almost, like, if you're in the Discord, you've seen it happen a lot, where I'll react to someone, it'll either be a really good video or a really chicaneous video, and then what ends up happening? Can anyone tell Amazon? Oh, like, the react submissions folder gets filled with either more of that exact same content creator, and it's like, I think one of the strengths of this, this React thing I do is the variety that I give you, you know? I think there's sometimes instances where we go down a bit of a rabbit hole, occasionally, but what ends up happening a lot of the time is people just end up watching, doing a bunch of the same one, bunch of the same one, and I think if the same video gets posted, yeah, exactly. That's what ends up happening. So, and it's like, no, I think what makes this work is the variety. What ends up happening, if you end up watching too much of the same, then firstly, it kind of niches me down when I don't want to. I like the variety that I do. I think you guys like it too. You guys just don't know it. You guys just want more of the same. There are some Albert Boris Andys that are just begging for Albert Boris to be taken off the ban list. I know it happens. That's what it is. That's what ends up happening. So there's a good chunk of the time, even from my own experience, that the people just don't know what they want. And I think, and if, honestly, I'm going to be honest, if you're telling me two paths, one where Nintendo is very listens to the community all the time, and one where they don't listen to us at all, am I crazy for saying I'd rather the one where they don't listen to us at all? Because they haven't been listening to us at all, and it seems to be working for the most part. You know, as of now, it seems to be working. It's maybe not working as well as they should, but it's working, you know? I mean, you said it yourself, Nintendo fans are so uncreative in comparison to Nintendo. Yeah, literally. How much would it be it would just be literally 3D Mario, Smash, Zelda, and that's it. That'd be it. Would you like Nintendo to literally be Nintendo Land? That's what it would be. And I'm not joking, I'm not even trying to slander him when I say that. But all he talks about is 3D Mario, 3D Zelda, and Smash, and then Mario Kart. Because guess what? That's all Nintendo fucking community wants. He's talking about all of them. He is the voice for everyone. That's what it is. Oh, man. So that's what would happen. That's literally what would happen. Oh, and it'd be depressing. Because it all comes down to consumers' choice. They have the games and heavy third-party support. It just depends on what you find to be the heavy hitters. I think that's probably one of Nintendo's greatest strengths, right? In that the heavy hitters are they have the objective heavy hitters, like I said, the big five. But the other heavy hitters are what you make of it. I know there's at least 2 people in this chat right now that are waiting for the next Fire Emblem game. And there's the rest of you guys in chat are I don't care about the next Fire Emblem game. That's how it works, right? I know there's at least one person in the chat that are I want that Rhythm Heaven. I want that Rhythm Heaven so fucking bad, bro. And the rest of you guys are I guess I'll get it when it comes out. For me, if you're asking me what else is in the big hitter category other than the big 5, I would love another Mario and Luigi game after Brothership, steered us in the right direction, literally. I would love for the same team to make another Mario and Luigi game, be even better. I'd absolutely love that. Mario Strikers, but that's not happening, I'm coping. But yeah, something like that would be fucking sick, you know? But I think Nintendo works best when they make the heavy hitters and then throw in those other ones, you know? And they're doing that right now, so, you know, just don't listen to us, and just keep doing what you do, man. Just don't listen to us. Don't listen to us. Xenoblade's would be another one. That would be a heavy hitter for some, you know? One of my favorite things about Nintendo is the unpredictability. Honestly, I think it is. I think a lot of us hate, it's within our human nature to hate Nintendo for being unpredictable. Because humans in general just don't like unpredictability. We like things to be predictable. We like things to work in motion. That's just a human trait, you know? Fear of the unknown is one of the greatest fears that all of humanity has. But in Nintendo's case, I think it just works. I'm not gonna lie, the idea that Nintendo could potentially release one of their biggest games on a random Thursday is just really funny to me. And I don't think it ever won't be funny. I think it works. It just works to me. It just works so well. It just works. That literally, we could get a tweet within the next hour. Oh, tune in tomorrow for a bunch of 40-minute direct. I'm for me? Now? Okay. Shit, okay. That'd be kind of cool. You know what I mean? That's one of Nintendo's greatest things, but as much as it sucks, I'm not going to pretend a more audience-savvy Nintendo wouldn't be better. I'm not going to justify it, just to finish up this point. A more audience-savvy Nintendo would be better. It'd be better for everyone. 100%. But it's one of those things where it's one of the things we both like and hate about them at the same time, you know?
They're just so far removed from the end
basically.
users buying their products, so they genuinely don't know what's going on in this world of normies that we live in. But Nintendo seems particularly bad about this sometimes. And I don't know how or why this would improve now, but if they want 2026 to go better, they need to figure out how to avoid at least the most obvious pitfalls.
Like what?
The 100% avoidable blunders.
Like which
As
ones?
I keep saying,
Refresh my memory.
So often, it's not about what you do, it's about how you do it, how you present all of this to the customer. You got to take at least tiny steps around these highly visible landmines you keep stepping on. I mean, they're sticking right out of the ground.
But which ones though?
Glasses or what? Like the Metroid amiibo thing.
Oh, the fucking. Yeah, okay, yeah. You know, fair. If he's talking about giant pitfalls like this, yes. Yeah, okay, this was objectively stupid. If you guys don't know, the music behind the large desert area, which you spend way more time than you probably should, in Metroid Prime 4, is locked behind an amiibo. Yeah, this, if we're talking this calamitous level area, yeah, I don't ever want to see this ever again. Yes, you're right, Arlo. 100%.
But
just don't do this again, please.
Unlocks the ability to play any music track you want while riding the bike. I've heard that you can unlock this in-game, but I genuinely can't find a straight answer online, so whatever. From Nintendo's perspective, I kind of get it. Hey, these amiibo are supposed to do something, right? Like that was the whole point originally, to unlock little in-game bonuses. So, I don't know, let's give them this fun little option. I'm not saying it was a good idea, it was a very bad idea, but I am a firm believer in Hanlon's razor. Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I think that philosophy is good to go by. But I think with Nintendo's track record of just being like very anti-consumer in recent years, I would say people seeing that and thinking maliciousness, I don't think is not necessarily like a bad conclusion to draw, you know? I do think it was just Nintendo being stupid with the amiibo thing. I definitely think it was. But when people say they're being malicious and they're trying to gouge money out of us, yeah, I don't think that's an unfair assessment. I just don't think it's unfair. I'm like, yeah, sure.
This was clearly just a casual little decision, not some convoluted swindle. They probably didn't even give it much thought. That's why they didn't realize that, hey, this boring desert, it's kind of a sore spot for players, and you are kind of charging extra for the ability to make it a little less boring. So, naturally, how does the internet react to this? Nintendo locked the soundtrack behind a $30 paywall!
The people on the line, Arlo, eh? Interesting. Okay. The straw man voice. I wasn't expecting it. Nice.
Purposefully made the desert have boring music so they could sell the music back to us. Like, it just blows up into this big, huge thing.
Okay, but like, is that necessarily like an unfair assessment to make? I don't think it's that unfair. I want to be honest. Like, it's stupid. Like, how ironic, right? Ironic. The guy who said to Nintendo, pick your battles, and you're picking the wrong battle. How ironic, Arlo. Because, yeah, again, does the internet overblow things? Yes. But if I was putting this in the camp of, you're overblowing this, but I don't think it's unreasonable, to you're overblowing this and I think you're all fucking stupid, I'm putting this one in the, you're overblowing it, but I don't think it's a horribly unfair conclusion to realize. Especially considering the price of the amiibo itself in the US, because of the tariffs, is like way more than most people expected. Yeah, I don't think there's an unfair conclusion for people to draw. Also with Nintendo's track record in recent years of being very anti-consumer, you know? Yes, exaggerated, but not necessarily wrong. Yeah, exactly. What you want to go, again, the battles you want to pick are the ones where the internet's overblowing this and they sound fucking stupid. I think an example I can go on with it is the Pokemon Legends ZA thing with the because people were saying, oh, Lumio City is just one model. They just made it one model. That's how lazy and small the city is. And they were showing a screenshot of a model of Lumios from the museum. No, it's a screenshot from the museum in the game, not a dev screenshot of like that was like, your internet's overblowing this and you were all being fucking stupid, shut up. But this is in the other camp, so maybe Arlo, maybe you should practice what you preach, eh? Maybe you should practice what you preach, Mr. Arlo.
Yet another example of how Nintendo is so disgustingly greedy. I'm sorry, but I think making a massive stink out of it and Nintendo doing it in the first place are equally silly. The entire—
No, I think Nintendo— You say 50-50, I would say it's 90-10. Like, easily. If Nintendo didn't do this, no one would have... If Nintendo didn't do this, then the internet wouldn't have something to complain about. So why would I just not... Like, why would they just not stop doing that, you know? Like, why would I not cut off the problem at the source instead of... Oh, Arlo is back on the menu, gamers. He's back on the menu. And you were doing so well, Mr. Arlo. You're doing so well. But yeah, like, I think equally is stupid. I think that's really, really, really stupid to say. Nintendo are the gatekeepers of the decisions they make. If they stop making bad decisions, no one has something to complain about. So, yeah, I'd say easily it's 90-10. Easily.
The thing is absolute.
Yeah.
First place are equally silly. The entire thing is absolutely asinine. I don't know if you need to, like, actually start sitting down and polling real fans or what, but there's got to be a way to gain some small level of cognizance here, some awareness of how these decisions are going to be interpreted and reacted to. I know I said I wasn't going to pick sides here, but in Nintendo's slight defense...
Oh, there we have it! It just doesn't end with this guy, does it? It just doesn't end with this guy. You say you're neutral at the beginning, but you've got an agenda, Arlo. You've got an agenda. Do you know what makes sense? Like, obviously, I'm reveling in this. I'm not going to pretend I'm not reveling in this because I kind of am. But, like, I would say you were doing a genuinely good, maybe a bit, like, again, sprinkling a little Shillanese. But I think for the most part, this video has been genuinely quite solid. But, like, it just has to creep in, doesn't it? It just has to creep in, doesn't it? So right there it is, gamers. So go on, just take Nintendo's side, Arlo. Go for it. That's fine.
But in Nintendo's slight
go
defense,
on.
maybe the intensity and suddenness of this new hyper-reactionary rage bait culture took everyone by surprise.
Oh yeah, you think Nintendo, yeah? Do you think Nintendo? Do you think it's all Nintendo's fault? It's all Nintendo's fault, gamers. The culture, it's all Fritanga's fault. It's all his fault. It's all Dean. It's your fault. You heard it from Arlo. Actually, he is Arlo. You heard it from your own mouth. It's all your fault. It's all Bearman's fault. It's all their fault. Listen, Arlo, I'm gonna say the same thing to Nintendo I say to you. One of my biggest criticisms of you is that you just can't seem to shut off the noise. You can't seem to just plug your ears and go, la 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 la, I can't hear you. I'm just gonna say my point and move on. La 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 la. I think Nintendo, the multi-billion-dollar company, are more than capable, especially with their famous track record of not giving a shit with what we say, of going, la 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 la, I can't hear you. So I don't think anything they've done in recent years has been a response to the rage bait. Jesus Christ, what a take. And you're doing so well as well. Oh my god, crazy work, bro.
Intensity and suddenness of this new hyper-reactionary rage bait culture took everyone by surprise. The Switch generation spawned a whole industry of Nintendotubers, and the Switch 2 generation has spawned an industry of Nintendo hate-tubers. That's basically a career.
It's you, it's Nintendo, it's you. It's you. He's talking about you, Dean. He's talking about you directly. How does it fit? I love how Nintendo loves to, like, talk about how he's like this scumbly, bimbly, small little channel. Why does anyone care what I have to say? The 700k man! It's mentioned you basically by name before he mentioned me. That's not fair. And you know what, Nintendo? I am gonna invite him to play Sonic Racing Crossworlds with me. That's what I'm gonna do. So I can yell at him. How does it feel for him to be in an Arlo video before me? Technically, I can't believe it just doesn't end with this guy. I've been reacting to your stuff for months. I've been calling your nonsense out for months, Arlo, and I don't get a name drop. But Nintendo basically got everything but a name drop. It's not fair. It's not fair. That's why it's not fair. All I'm saying is not fair. We demand our 15 seconds of fame, all right? I've been doing this long before Nintendo did, okay? He's spoiled, okay? He's spoiled, goddammit.
Again, wherever you stand, it is what it is. It's all a great big minefield now, and you gotta learn how to spot the mines if you don't want 2026 to be another endless parade of controversies and news stories about the controversies and YouTube videos about the controversies. That's the way I see it, at least.
If anything, I think Nintendo's very generous for giving a couple of people their career. Do you know what I mean? So, if anything, I think they're very nice. I think they're very, very nice in that regard.
That's the way I see it, at least. That's what I think Nintendo should do if they want to have a better 2026. Which is a lot easier to say than to have a better second half of Switch 2's first year plus first half of Switch 2's second year.
Plus meet up in Belleville Park.
Why did they release this thing in June? If you've got any ideas, please let us know down in the comments. And, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Arlo.
Happy New Year. I hope you had a good holiday season.
I hope you did too.
I hope
you did too.
Good things happen to you this year.
I hope so too. I hope you get to when you and Doug Bowser end up going for dinner later. Tell him I said hi, okay?
Thanks for watching.
No problem.
Really.
Oh no. The pleasure was all mine. Hold on, don't worry.
You're awesome. Happy New Year, you wonderful people. I love you so much. Ah!
Okay, I think we should just be friends. I think you're laying on a bit thick there. But either way, mostly good video. Obviously, we had to derail the train off the end. The train had to derail at the end, so strange. But yeah, overall, I think a lot of the points I agreed with. I still think a video like this should have maybe more addressed what the consumer could do, more so than addressing Nintendo directly, since they're probably not going to see this sort of thing. But either way, I thought the video Nintendine call out notwithstanding, I think it was very, very good all around. So better than the other ones I've covered from you. But you start to veer off the road. You start to fumble at the finish line. You know what I mean? You still had to. So just a shame you had to film. But a bit of a shame, but I don't want that to supplant what was a decently solid video. I'd say decently solid, like a solid 7.5. I would give it. The ending just took it to a 10, obviously, because it gave me a laugh. It gave me a laugh, Arlo. But either way, listen. All I'm saying, but in all seriousness though, like if you're not gonna like directly address or name these people or give people the tools they need to counter this sort of narrative, it behooves you not to mention them. Why would you talk about them? It gives it like, what's the point? You're just going to vaguely gesture at them and do nothing? Like, if you're going to talk about the grifting culture, then like talk about what people can do to counter like that sort of thing. Who's the bozo in the corner? What, you? You the bozo in the corner? Get out of here, nerds. That's Kane, okay? We love Kane. Kane is his name, okay? I think I struggle watching this kind of video because I'm not trying to protest. I don't really care too much about this sort of thing. Yeah, but Arlo's a lawyer though. You're not actually supposed to care. You're supposed to, guys. Why is everyone saying that? First, I'm just, guys. Line is going down for Nintendo. Come on, guys. Why don't you care? What's going on? Oh, you guys are ridiculous. You guys are absolutely ridiculous. Okay, this is serious. Support for Arlo is low. Okay, and Nintendo. Okay. Either way, again, Arlo, just lay off the hate, okay? If you're gonna mention a hater, mention me, okay? Because at least I'm an ethical hater. I hate you for good reasons, okay? I say hate, but it's more, I have my criticisms of you for good reason, let's put it that way. But either way, let's have a look. To be fair, if they brought back Nintendo Selects and made them 30, I'd probably buy 10 of them. There's a ton of Switch catalog I want to buy. Yes! I agree, it's literally just the slam dunk. It's literally the easiest alley-oop, but they're just never gonna do it, and that makes me kind of sad, which is why, thankfully, gamers, all I'm saying is all us UK bros, we know who to thank, okay? I would be a bit more upset about this sort of thing, but we know who to thank, gamers. All rise for the greatest shop in this entire country. All rise, gamers, all rise. We have CEX, okay, in the UK. It's the best shop ever to exist, I'm not even kidding. We get discounted games at a decently affordable price, honestly. It's amazing, it's so amazing. If you ever come to the UK, you have to check it out, okay? You have to do a little bit of window shopping, honestly. Save some shut up. He finally mentioned Metro Prime. Wait, didn't he make a whole video about it? What do you mean? Considering how quiet he's about that game since it came out, I got a strong feeling he's cooking a video where he's ultimately going to say he did not like it. Oh, that'd be kind of funny. I still need to finish it, so I need to finish it quickly before Arlo makes the video. I need to make it a big fat review. Ooh, I need to see. I'll hear Arlo talk about that. Arlo, yes, you got the defaults clapping, Arlo. Arlo, next video, say the T word. You have to mention tariffs, okay? You have to mention the tariffs, okay? You have to. All right. Yeah, I still haven't been a good reason to buy a Switch 2 yet. Yeah, exactly. People are waiting for the big hitters, you know? I gotta finish it before Arlo. $80 games is what killing them? Yeah, they should do anyway. Spoiler, they won't. Oh, Nightclef. You're supposed to be more hopeful than that. Oh, come on. Everyone needs to do better. Speak for yourself. I think I did 2025 just fine. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm doing fine. All right, speak for yourself, okay? Derek and Nightingale. Unbelievable. Very presumptuous. Happy New Year. 64. There you go. Price is too high. I certainly missed Nintendo's game price during the Wii U era. I miss Reggie. Don't miss Reggie gamers. We miss Reggie, don't we? Miss Reggie so much. Because Arlo's a total nerd fighter. This is my favorite discovery. He's a total nerd, isn't he? That's why he was upset about Miles. Oh my god, it's the guy! Oh my god! Mr. Mimestab! Oh my god, it's you! It's you! It's him! It's one of our own! Or one of Arlo's own! They've emigrated to the Moscow Empire, eh? It's one of them! We saw him! Oh man, crazy. Crazy, I didn't think we'd see you. I'm surprised Stay Away from AI wasn't one of the points made. I think because Nintendo made a strong stance against AI, so I don't think we need to. I think they've been pretty good about that sort of thing, right? Hello, honey. Oh my God, you got a sandwich for moi? How very nice. And what was this? Hot chocolate with whipped cream on top. Oh my God, gamers. Oh my. See, this is what Nintendo needs to do more of in 2026. They need to give me a sandwich and then fucking hot chocolate with whipped cream. That's what they need to do. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's what they need to do more of. The fact that they haven't done that yet is crazy. It's crazy work. You had a good 2025 Nintendo. Heartbreaking, gamers. The worst person you know made you laugh. The worst person you know made you laugh. Oh man. The people. Oh, was it? There's no hate. There was no haters in his reply. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. That's your reward for the jar thing. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. They only care once you stop buying their products. So did you skip? Just literally skip buying on one generation of games. The next Mario, DK, next Pokemon. Just buy them later when they're on sale or something. It's not the end of the world if to skip a few months of a game to tell Nintendo you don't care about the current quality. They'll not listen to change as long as you keep getting things like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet were the most sold games because people have blind faith then buyer's remorse. Again, I think this is one of those. I call this like a soapbox take, where it's like this is one of those takes that just sounds good to say, but it's like. No, the problem is a lot more deeper than you just standing on a soapbox saying 9/11 was bad. Unfortunately, I'll vote you for the sentiment though. Very cute, very cute. I sound so. Oh, I sound like a bitch when I said that. Oh my God, how cute, how cute of you, Hypnotic, huh? Keep shouting on your soapbox, little man. Oh man. Oh hang on. Hypnotic is right. Companies only have the right things to do when they financial incentive to do so. Good job, cute wing. That's very cute wing of you, Mr. Cool Wing 79. It's very cute. It's very cute of you, huh? How cute. I was really bitchy of me out of nowhere. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting that. Silk Song mentioned. Silk Song mentioned. Finally, that's what I was waiting for. That is Arlo's fan. Real and true. My only issue with Arlo is that he's always quick to go Nintendo's pressure by shout. Yeah, exactly. Like I always thought that was weird too. I'm like. I don't think this is something that you, the consumer, should be thinking about. Like, is this something that's true? Sure, but like, I don't think I'm ever saying this in a YouTube video of mine. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, I don't care and you should neither. I'm just like, I don't really care. When they raise prices, shell out low quality work for high prices, but would then turn around and see Sony and Microsoft doing the exact same thing. Go, these guys are out of touch with what the industry and the consumers want. While he's wearing an official Pokemon shirt with Pikachu saying, "Give us your money." There's nothing wrong with liking Nintendo. Just there's nothing wrong with saying, "Yeah, these guys suck in the same way, but I still like their stuff." It's like getting weirdly passive aggressive and digs his heels in. Yeah, like I'm glad this person noticed because like yeah, it always just seemed a bit like again, like I said, there's always a sprinkle of like shill language. I mean, we saw it a bit at the end, but like there was always a sprinkle of the language throughout. I'm just like. I don't know, man. I am advocating for a more pro-consumer Arlo in 2026. That's what I'm saying. And I don't know, but he seems like a stand-up guy otherwise. I think if you're going to blame two guys jumping trash into a lake, you can't go, hey, this guy's been there my whole life. Please be nice to him, as Nintendo's dangling Pikachu and Mario in front of the kids, then holding out a hand going $100, $100 plus 30 for the DLC. And then that guy dumping trash in the lake, and the other guy's also dumping trash in the lake. 432 to 305. Hang on. Let's hear this bit.
Can't magically end the trade war. They can't stop inflation. They can't bolster the weakening yen. And no, despite what we all want, they probably can't stop being a publicly traded corporation under constant pressure from shareholders to only ever make more and more and more money without ever slipping. Yeah, so that's the timestamp he linked. So to continue. But I'm willing to hear them out. I don't agree with that. They're just like us. If someone was playing my game, the first instinct isn't to both shut it down and charge them for life-ruining amounts of money when I'm rolling in it. They're a corporation. A lot of their choices I view as no different than the other guys. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say. I'd say this is really fair, actually, if I'm being honest. Because yeah, that's my problem with Arlo. Like he's always very quick to just go, but the shareholders, you know. I'm just like talk to us, Arlo. You're not like literally like we joke and say Nintendo's a self-appointed lawyer, but like, that's one of my biggest criticisms of you. Is that I think you can criticize Nintendo and be pro-consumer and like advocate for their good parts as much, but in fact that's what I do. Like I love Nintendo's games, but like I don't care about them as a company, you know? I don't care. Shareholders? Sure, I can share my holders. Way! What the reply say? Very good point. Not entirely sure. You said in a different video, you think the Switch 2 is the worst area. You could argue the same with the PS5.
Well, yeah, the fact, well, which video though? I'd love to see that. He doesn't really do it as often. He says a lot of things in prior videos he goes back on. That proves my point. He's not following the Switch 2 for anything. He's using the PS5 as a scapegoat for his argument. Actually criticizing the faults of the Switch 2. Don't try and shift blame. Getting him to admit it's overpriced is like pulling teeth because he has to throw another system like he did under the bus instead of getting brave enough to admit it has flaws. What a great way to put it. I constantly watch him, but man, he's a huge apologist for blatantly bad actions. Yeah, fair. I'd say fair, honestly. I'm glad that I'm not the only one. Because I feel like maybe have I been a bit too mean with that critique, but I guess I'm not. Other people also feel the same way, so it feels very validating. It's very validating. Whether or not Arlo cares about Nintendo, I think the two could have a very interesting debate on Nintendo. All I'm saying is I'd host that. I'm just saying, Nintendo and Arlo, if you want to come on the Moresty stream, the great Nintendo debate. The great Nintendo debate. All I'm saying, it would be Kino content. It's never gonna happen though, because Arlo's a fucking coward. Arlo's a coward. You're a coward, eh, Arlo? You would never. I know Nintendo would. Nintendo 100%. I could get Nintendo and all that. I feel like I just hit him up in the DMs, but like, yo, Nintendo, come on. It'd be fun. It'd be Kino content, broski. Come on, you'd do it. Arlo doing them on both sides. Yeah, also there's more people essentially saying the same thing, which is Arlo's been the shill alligator. I wonder what happens if I type in shill. How much stuff comes up? Oh, just the one so far? Oh yeah, not as much as I thought. I thought it'd be a bit more than that. But either way, I think we'll leave it there. Actually, hang on. Can we sort by? I like sorting by new. On any big channel, I like sorting by new because then you get the crazy default Dans, don't you? And I'll just quickly go back to the top. Cost is going up. I'm done with video games. I'm focusing to make sure my wife and kids can eat. Do you know what? Fair. You know what, Duke? Fair. Okay, but Arlo, you and every one of your videos are going to about their products no matter what. I mean, he owned you. I'm going to be honest. In full fairness, Rain kind of owned you. He little broed you, Arlo. I'm going to be honest. You might have to debate him. I'll bring him on stream instead. I still think locking something like music selection behind the paywall was ridiculous. They could at least change it, but they haven't. That's just true. Why are some of the new comments true? We need poverty Nintendo back? Or else what? You're gonna... I mean, are they wrong? Are they wrong? That's what I'm saying. Are they wrong? Are they wrong? Are they wrong? Let he who is wrong cast the first stone, okay? As they said in the Bible. Are we gonna sit there and pretend DK is the only worthwhile game on the system? That's some real grifter. Oh, Quimbly. Quimbly hit him with the G word. Congrats, you learned the word and done it 2 times. Thanks. Oh, I can't believe Quimbly would say this. I can't believe this. They beat... Hey, Arlo, you're getting cooked in the new comments, bro. Isn't the Switch like 350 in Japan? It is, yeah. I think we talked about that earlier. Which is a bit strange. This is ridiculous. Accept anti-consumer behaviors because it's inevitable. Just listen, guys. Do it slowly so they feel like a frog in a boiling pot. Lol tiki. By the way, consumer accepted. The shelves demand it. You should too. I mean, cringy use of the word consumer, but I don't think Seth is necessarily wrong here. Nintendo Defense Force it. Crazy. Oh my god, it's Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Where's the Prime? Yeah, where's the Prime 4 review, huh? Where is it? What's going on? I would say Hanlon's raise is better applicable to individual people, not so much major corporations. A single person is quite likely making a simple, quick decision that they haven't thought through, but major corporations spend sometimes billions doing research on exactly how they can best influence to take your money. And every decision they make is by design, and best to maintain a massive profit as long as they can. They rarely change until it hurts their bottom line, more not to. I think Hanlon's razor also works for single individual incidences, but less of a factor when behaviors or actions are repeated over long periods of time. And the fact that it's a pattern and indicates a chosen way of doing things. Like I said, Nintendo stopped with the sales 8 years ago, and these greedy decisions have become more and more the norm ever since. And that's not even considering their litigious actions of Nintendo over the years. If you're gonna go eat with a friend and they forget their wallet, it's an easy mistake. But if they forget their wallet every time you go and eat, you're a chump if you chalk it up to accidental. Fuck mine. Yeah, kill me. Yeah, Arlo, you're actually getting like fucking destroyed in the new broski. This is I've never seen new comments this normal in my life. Normally the new comments are just unhinged craziness. Holy shit. Oh, they're cooking you new, bro. They're cooking you new. That's actually crazy. Sorry, I like you, but Nintendo won't do better. They're green and uninsightful. I tried to remain a fan for years and I couldn't do anymore. Here's what's going to happen in 2026. Legacy and current video game players will buy sophisticated SBC devices like the AN... Sure, okay. Oh, they're going to buy a PC, guys. They're going to buy a PC. I definitely don't mind Arlo bringing up the shareholders and speculate about what it is that makes them do these decisions, though. I think the conclusions he draws are a bit optimistic. Yeah, I think... Personally, I just wouldn't mention it in general. But yeah, I think the conclusions he draws is definitely way too optimistic. It definitely is. But yeah, that's my only criticism with Arlo. Again, this whole video proves that that's my main criticism with Arlo. And it seems like if the newcomer's anything to go by, right? That's like the main critique of Arlo. It's not that he's saying this. It just seems like there's just a sprinkle of like, ooh, I'm defending Nintendo. It feels like he's overcorrecting because there's like a big swing against hating Nintendo. So he's overcorrecting the other way. That's what it feels like to me. And it's like, I get how tempting it would be to do that. Like, I can understand the need to maybe play devil's advocate, but like, I don't feel the need to. I just don't care. I want to be honest. I'll critique Nintendo when they're shit. I'll praise them when they're good. You know? Quick donors. Happy New Year, Summersly. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. What chicane have you missed? A little bit, not too much. Arlo's video was mostly good, just a little bit at the end was crazy. SBC, just synth. Oh my god, is that a Pokemon reference? It all comes back to Pokemon, doesn't it? It really is. It already comes back. What's it? Don't say they need to be smart about DLC releases, like they're being dumb and not greedy. It's super simple. Don't hold off content and release it as DLC, period. I won't buy the DLC of any games that do this shit, and I probably won't buy them in this case. I think that's just naive. Like, if a company develops more content for a game afterwards and sells it as DLC, I don't think so. And again, when you say don't hold off content and release it as DLC, if they have been doing that, then fair, but like, it doesn't seem like they are doing that. I don't know. It just seems like they're pricing it weird. That's the main issue. Now you say that after a year of shilling for them, I wouldn't say that. I think this is bad. I don't think he's as bad as Harmon Smith. I don't think he's bad. I think that's mean. I think that's very, very mean of you, and I disagree with that. Toxic positivity is a thing. It is a thing, alright. Release the MP4. Release the files, Arlo. Release the Miles files. Hashtag Miles files, gamers. We're gonna get that trending. We're gonna get that trending, gamers. Yeah, it seems like there's not really too much insanity here. Arlo complaining again. Cool story, love it. Maybe play some Nintendo games instead of just playing a demo and immediately complaining online like a bunch of... That's very mean. That's actually very mean. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. That's very, very mean. Bought Switch 2 for Prime 4, and Lisa said I'm considering selling my Switch to... Oh. I disagree, okay? I very, very much disagree. Can only agree. Please listen, Nintendo. True. Nintendo's a premium brand. People have to understand. Ooh, another fellow shill. Another fellow shill, eh? Interesting. You need to make one before Arlo. I need to finish the game first. I need to continue. That's what I need to do, which I'm going to try and do over the weekend. I'm going to try and like make a bit of progress on that because I have a bit more free time now. Anyway, I think we saw it by new enough. I think they're kind of cooking you anew a little bit, Arlo. But either way, as I said, my conclusion is still the same in that I think for the most part this was a good video. I think your angle of the video was probably a bit skewed to how I would do it personally. But sure, fair enough. But I think if there's something you need to do better in 2026, I think you just need to beat the self-appointed lawyer allegations. While it is a funny bit of slander that I will do until you change, I think it's my favorite bit of slander to do. Like, Nintendo is boring, Arlo's a lawyer. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a bit of slander that I love throwing at you. I think if there's genuinely something that, if the comments are anything to go by too, I think it's genuinely one of your only pain points. I'd say your only pain point. I wouldn't say one of your biggest pain points, because that implies you have more. I think that your only pain point, if you're asking me, is that you just seem to be running a bit of defense, and it feels like, considering you weren't like this before with the Not My Paper Mario arc, it definitely feels like an overcorrection from the amount of hating that people are doing. Which, don't get me wrong, it's fucking annoying. Like it's annoying, don't get me wrong, but if I'm talking as Sir Musty the Gamer, I don't hear you, I don't care. But if you're talking as me as like the online commentator, live stream, whatever you want to call me, I find it very, very easy to just like do what I want to do and then have a take, right? And I don't know why you find it this hard as well. I don't know why you do. Like, I'm personally okay with throwing the terminally online allegations. Because as far as I'm concerned, my TikTok is just brain rot and funny memes. My Twitter is just brain rot and funny memes. So I think your Twitter or TikTok or whatever you browse is just full of gaming discourse, and as a result, you're like knee deep in the trenches. When I would advocate for to you, what I'd advocate for everyone, which is just make sure your memes and other things are just funny. Just make sure you got funny stuff on your feed. Stop being in the trenches too much, Arlo. That's what you gotta be. And as a result, your brain will be less discourse poisoned, eh? Arlo, your feed should be more shit like this, okay? It should be FNAF if they slayed. That's what you need more of on your feeds, and you need less of like the Nintendines and the Fritangas, okay? You need FNAF if they slayed on your feed, and as far as I'm concerned, until you do that, I don't think it's going to get better for you, okay? And we'll leave it there.